Hi, I'm Ezelle from the upcoming Lovely to Meet You, Matthew.
you.
Congratulations on a
Thank you very
fantastic
much.
film and being here at the BFI London Film Festival.
real pleasure.
So, what drew you to the role, and can you tell us a little bit about your character that you play in the adaptation of Lady Chatterley's Lover?
Of course. So I play Sir Clifford Chatterley, who, he's probably the closest this film has to an antagonist. I'm reluctant to call him that myself. I love the guy. But I think he's, as much of a victim, I think, as any of the three of them, with his shifting place in society and how responsibility is sort of thrust upon him in the changing world that he finds himself in the early 20s. He's suddenly the eldest son. He inherits the baronetcy and the estate and everything that goes on with that. And I think he's just trying his best to do right in the only way that he can. And being in that position, it grinds you down. Mellors has a wonderful line in the film: to be a gentleman, you have to kill those parts of yourself that feel. And there's truth in that. He has to shut himself down from any sort of emotive communication. And I think it's that difficulty and that sort of constant wrestling that he has that really drew me to him.
And obviously, working with Laurie is a fantastic visionary director, and this amazing cast. How was that for you, working with Emma and everyone else?
Laura was a genius. She knew exactly what she wanted from every moment of the film. She was so succinct in her direction, and I always felt in such safe hands, and to be working with Emma, Jack, such consummate professionals throughout. The very first scene we worked on was a scene between Emma and I, and they immediately put me at ease. It was wonderful to work with them. And having Ita O'Brien to work on the sort of more intimate moments and bring as much truth as we can to those. Like I say, they were a great team, and I was immediately in the safest possible hands, so I loved every minute.
And what do you hope viewers will take away from watching this film?
I think there's a lot. There's a lot in this. It's a real rich storyline, which is why it speaks to so many people over so many years, But I think the relevancy of it now is, coming off the back of the amount of isolation we've all felt over the last 2 or 3 years, to see such raw, passionate connection on screen. It's quite affirming, I think, and it is, at the end of the day, it is a love story, and that's what I hope people remember. Individual, it was that sort of first drew me to him, and as I was sort of looking at it and reading the book and looking at Dave McGee's sort of interpretation of that, looking at how you can sort of justify Clifford's approach to life. He's dealing with so many changes in his circumstances. His place in society alters quite heavily versus the sort of socialite that he hopes to be, the younger brother, to then inheriting the estate and keeping the town running to the best that he knows how, right? But he really lacks, I think, the emotional sort of language to deal with the problems he's faced with, and that is eventually his undoing, I think. I think the fact that his sort of standing in the family shifts and he has that responsibility of running the estate thrust upon him alters him greatly, but also his disability and returning as an injured man from the Great War, and being a disabled actor, being able to sort of tackle that with an element of lived experience and finding what I can make Clifford to be, if that makes sense, sort of playing with my interpretation of his disability and bringing my lived experience to it and trying to bring some sort of honesty to it. I think exactly that. I think you can't hope to do a truthful retelling of Lady Chatterley's Lover without dwelling on the intimacy. It's that got it into so much trouble. But I think it's wonderful that this is the first version with a female director. Emma Corrin in the lead. They do such a wonderful job of giving Connie real agency through this story, and being able to see it through her eyes is a real refreshing sort of start.